of a drainage master plan for the city of Karachi. As you can see, everything just flows into the sea, Arabian Sea, to the southeast or the top and bottom left corner. There's the two rivers, the Malir and the Liari rivers that feed into this. And then there's a whole network of channels that one would need to improve. Like Arif Hassan said, that most are just blocked by garbage and sewer. And I was a little surprised that those channels are planned for taking sewage rather than stormwater flows. It's probably a water quality and a public health issue if you do that. Here's a description of figure for the Karachi Transportation Plan. You can see a few ring roads and other stuff. Like I said, we here would assist with some independent traffic modeling and review of alternative transportation modes and routes. In terms of the Karachi water plans, it's a similar situation. Again, here we can offer our technical expertise for water systems modeling, using reservoirs and trunk lines and so forth. And the thing one needs to consider is that one has to separate different areas of the city, and that's the best way, I think, practically of dealing with the situation rather than as a big one city solution that fits everything. So, in summary, I guess you could state that we first of all need to come up with a good understanding of the infrastructure, and talks or information from Arif Hassan and other professionals in this regard would be very helpful. And this is a good start by the Abul Kalam and the NED Association in this regard. Reviewing the current and future land use and population projections, not just citywide, but again in separate areas of the city. Reviewing the current infrastructure master and design plans a bit more in detail. I think those plans are fairly conceptual. We need to go into a bit more detail. And I think that's about it. The last thing I would like to say is, of course, there's the security issue here. We have contacted NESPAC and others in Pakistan, and the problem is actually ours, because folks from here are not willing to go to Pakistan because of the security and corruption situation. And even though people in Pakistan have been receptive to obtaining assistance, but we have that issue. So a lot of practical issues. Thank you.
Thank you, Nazir. I'll call our next panel member, Ali Malik, to talk about his experience and somehow related to Karachi. Ali Malik.
Thank you, Abul, and thank you, Nasir. It was a great presentation by Nasir. I hope I can mimic what you have. I'm just going to talk about, in general, what we have in New York City and what we do in New York City. Just a few statistics for New York City. We have over 6,400 miles of streets. We have 6,417 miles of sewers, which are, some of them are combined sewers, some of them are separated. The sizes of the sewers varies from 6 inches to 90 inches in diameter, and the age of this sewer is almost 66%, which is built prior to 1940. Similarly, the water mains that we have, there are almost more than 6,000 miles of water mains, and the sizes varies from 8 inches to 72 inches in diameter. And again, the ages of these water mains is almost 60% prior to 1940. We have a master plan, Plan NYC by the mayor, which is the Plan 3030, which is 2030 plan, and we are working on that based on the 3030 plan Also, we created a 10-year plan and a 5-year plan. A 5-year plan is something that we work on, and then as we go along, we go to the 10-year plan. While we do all this planning and everything, we have emergencies in the city. And some of these emergencies are not planned. So what we normally do is we have consultants on board for different emergencies that are required to come on board within 3 hours of the emergencies. We have contractors, pre-qualified contractors who are on board and they come on board right away as the emergencies occur. And we mandate the consultants who are on board to come up with a plan or a design within 24 hours of the disaster or the emergencies. So this is a water main break in Manhattan, which is the heart of the city. As you know, the city, as I just mentioned before, you have tremendous water mains, sewer systems, and private utilities in the city. And Manhattan is a grid. There's absolutely no place to put any new stuff in Manhattan. And since the infrastructure is so old, we have these water main breaks, the sewer collapses, the roadway collapses, and so forth. So this is the photograph. I'm going to go quickly because we don't have much time. I was told I have like 5 minutes to do everything. So this is the water main flood in downtown. This is, again, the quantities of which is the private utilities. There was a certain collapse, in the quantities of the steam system, and this happened on a Sunday. Again, some of these water main breaks, and then immediately we had a crew that came in and did the water main rehabilitations. This is emergency crews working on the site. This is a sinkhole. Right in the middle of the night, we got a call and we were told there's a big sinkhole up there and somebody has to go and fix it. I mean, you can see the car is almost there to get into the sinkhole. Flooding situations. We have cases when there is tremendous rain, the drainage doesn't work, or it's not, the catch basins are not cleaned up, so we have all these flooding conditions. Electric manhole fire. We came across that also. We have, in DDC, they have a master plan. We do a lot of work. So far, in the last 10 years, we have completed almost 745 miles of sidewalk and street. We have constructed 735 miles of new water mains, 554 miles of new storm and sanitary sewers, and almost 10,000 homes, especially in the Staten Island, have been connected with the sewer system. Previously, they had septic tanks. Our 5-year capital plan is almost $39.5 million. We have two divisions between DDC. One is the design builds, which we do roadways, sewers, water mains, retaining walls, and some bridges. And then public buildings, which designs and builds public structures. This is basically our infrastructure 5-year portfolio. We do all kinds of work for different agencies. I'm going to show you some pictures of Sandy, or what happened during Hurricane Sandy. And we were asked to come and look into it. These are the houses in Rockaway Beach. This is the roadway that collapsed. This is in Staten Island. Shaquille is very much familiar with this area. This is the father Capitano Boulevard area.
This is my picture.
He's in charge of Staten Island construction. This is the subway system, where the water flooded into the subway system during Sandy storm. This is the Battery Tunnel that connects to the Manhattan to Brooklyn. You can see it's absolutely filled up with water. And this is a picture of the downtown Manhattan. Basically, I haven't touched on one of the most important topic that I have is bridges. We have seen in the past 10 years that Karachi has come across with a lot of new structures, new highways, new bridges that has basically shortened the commute time for the people. The one thing that I'm not sure about the city of Karachi is all these structures that have been built, whether there is a mandate for inspection and maintenance of this structure. Federal Highway Administration in the United States mandates that all bridges be inspected and load rated these structures every 2 years. Based on these load ratings and based on this inspection, these bridges become candidates for future rehabilitation or reconstruction. I've worked in all the East River bridges, and currently I'm working in one of the oldest bridges in New York City, which is the High Bridge. And it's an example of how New York City works to make sure that they preserve their infrastructure and at the same time they come across and build new structures. A question came up, why can't New York City, with all this infrastructure that we have, the water mains and the sewers that we have, why can't we go ahead and rehabilitate all of them and make them new, and this way we don't have to worry about emergencies. Even if we have all the money in the world to rehabilitate all the water mains and the sewers, we physically cannot do this work, because if you do that, you're going to completely close Manhattan, close New York City, because you'll be working in every location. So what we have done is, as I said previously, is we have a master plan, and we work with the master plan, and as we get the emergencies, we come across the emergencies and try to fix it. I'll take up some questions later, how we can do, what we can do about Karachi.
Thank you, Ali. Ali Malik is on a 24/7 notice. I see you just showed me from the commissioner and the mayor for anything that goes wrong in the largest infrastructure organization in New York City Department of Design and Construction. So he's got quite a bit of insider knowledge in planning, design, maintenance, and troubleshooting. A great presentation, Ali. Our next speaker is Sabah Engineer, and I have the same question for her. About your infrastructure experience and how do we relate it to Karachi. And we are told that we have to wrap it up quickly by 9:50. We'll take a couple of question answers, so I'd like 5 to 7 minutes.
Assalamu alaikum. I have been practicing civil engineering after graduating from NAD and completing my master's in structures for past 24 years, and always work for the Department of Public Works. So all my experience is related to public works project. So I haven't prepared any formal presentation, and I was thinking I just listen to the speakers and try to come up with something that talk about some